All right, let's do our next wish list. I'm going to talk about Manon today because we've been playing a lot of her lately. She's a lot of fun. And man, Manon's really interesting because she's one of the only super up-played characters in Street Fighter 6 at the beginning of this season. You guys remember the madness of Manon? The metal levels carrying over. People were saying she was broken. The metal levels shouldn't carry over between the rounds. The throws kill you. 2 command grabs at level 5 and it's over. And there was a lot of pro players playing Manon, but they were just dropping like flies over time, slowly. And that's usually how it works for a lot of fighting games, is that grapplers get a really big head start. They turn out to be really strong, but then after like a month or so, they slowly start to drop off. You start to understand all their setups, and yeah, they get zoned out, or they're just not doing as much damage as they usually do. And Manon is one of those characters. She dropped off big time. There's barely any Manon players left. She used to be way up there on the tier list, and now she's at the very bottom. We even had a tier list just recently with Big Bird putting Manon at like bottom 2. I don't think she's that bad. She's really, really low. But the thing about Manon is, like, there are some things that are still very, very strong about her, and that I see why pros gravitated towards her at the beginning, like her buttons. I still think right now Manon has some of the best buttons in the game. Her neutral is very, very strong, and she's got a lot of really annoying attacks that are risky, but it makes it really tough to deal with Manon head on. Like, I'm sure a lot of you guys have tried going toe-to-toe with Manon in a ranked match, and she just overwhelms you, you know, like between the early jump heavy kick, the fast overhead, the low that you have to worry about, and then DI on top of that, you know, and this heavy kick from hell. I'm sure you guys have got super frustrated playing against Manon, even to this day. And I did too. It took me a really long time to get used to this character because she really challenges your mental stack. And then the grabs, you can't downplay the grabs, man. Like, look at this throw range. Her light grab is 10 frame startup, but the range is amazing. And then she has a 5 frame option with her heavy grab, which still has pretty good range. And the damage is still there, you know? The hit grab, it's really easy for Manon to get her metal levels up too. But she definitely has some glaring issues. Why is she not able to handle the meta? Well, one thing is that Manon's got, I think it's the slowest drive rush in the game. It's terrible. It's to the point of where you can't even use it in neutral. Like, if your opponent whips a really slow button, maybe you can get away with it, but you're not going to get much. So drive rush is out of the equation, which is like the current meta right now is raw drive rush. Another thing is she has a really tough time against zoners, especially meta zoners like JP and Guile. Whew. It is a struggle. Capcom did not give her enough tools to deal with those kind of projectiles, man. Because JP, you can't drive rush to close in on him. You gotta walk it. And with Guile, his sonic booms, they just recover so fast that, like, you're not gonna really do what Capcom wants you to do, which is use the spin, the twirl into the kick. It's just Guile will be able to DI you back by the time you actually do that. So there's 2 things right there. And then the third thing is she has a lot of strange inconsistency issues, where a lot of her combos will drop, especially things like her level 2, or she'll be pushed back a little too far. Really strange stuff happens with this character. And her super is right there. Oh my god, I did it on the first try, guys. I'm not Twitch acting. That wasn't scripted. That actually just happened. Perfect example. So there's a lot of weird things about this character. Okay, so wish list. What are we gonna do? How are we gonna fix Manon? How are we gonna bring her back? Now, low key, we all kind of know that Capcom and a lot of fighting game developers, they're not fans of making grapplers top tier characters because, I don't know, they make people like rage and quit the game. It's just like with Street Fighter 5. They didn't want, like, there's a lot of anti-zoning. People quit the game against zoners too. And grapplers are frustrating too when they're very, very strong. So it's like this weird kind of balance of making them viable, but not, you know, the meta. And it is exciting to watch grapplers play because because of the charm of the grappler going through the struggle, and it's so exciting when they land the grabs. But if it was like super top tier and Manon had like DJ's drive rush, it'd be eye rolling. So I think the way to approach this, realistically, how I think Capcom's going to approach this is we got to definitely fix Manon's consistencies and fix some of her conversions. They're just really, really bad, especially her lights. We can't buff like her neutral anymore. It's already godlike. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna make heavy kick even better, you know? And their grabs are already really good too. So I think like buffing those two things, unless they want to make her top tier, that's what they have to buff. But for me, I'm gonna start with the lights. I think her lights are really, really bad. So her crouching light punch is +2, and her standing light punch is +4. And right off the bat, her light conversions they're really bad. So the ideal thing you want to do with Manon is you want to land this slide, because the slide gives you a lot of options. You can drive rush and loop it. You get Mad Oki, and you can cash out at any time, right? And go for the grab if you want. But you can't combo into the slide from crouching light punch because it's only +2 on hit. See this? It doesn't combo. It only combos from standing light punch. But the problem is her standing light punch has like no range. There's a lot of times where you're trying to confirm this and the second light punch will whiff. You know? Her crouching light punch has got great range, see? But it's only +2. It doesn't even combo into the medium kick version, where you can get some good corner carry as well. This is very strong in the corner too, because she's got a lot of excellent setups from here as well. So I think the first thing they should do is make her crouching light punch +4, like her standing light punch. I think that would really help her. Then she can do like this into slide or the corner carry, like I was just talking about. I think would be a good buff for her and helping her close, because she doesn't have a reversal, right? She has to use her level 1, so that would help her more close range. Standing light punch, probably maybe bump it up to +5 from +4. That way on counter hit, she'll be able to link into her standing medium punch, and that would give her opportunity for conversions too. Going like this, and then whatever you want to cash out with. And the pushback, I think, is another thing that we have to take a look at, because there's a lot of times where your third light punch will whiff, and then a Marisa mashing on medium punch will club you, or it just feels like, because there's so much pushback on her, and I understand that, right? Because she is a grappler. But it's just, I don't know. I think there should be just a little bit less pushback. Maybe even on her crouching medium kick, because she can't cancel this button too. That would be helpful too. Because like, for example, when I do the slide with Manon, let's get in the block after the slide. When I do this crouching medium kick, you're plus, which is great. Like, you can still go for the grab, but to stop the opponent from jumping, I can't go into back heavy punch. Like, it just whiffs. There's just too much pushback, even when I'm drive rushing in, you know? Instead, you have to use, you know, medium punch or heavy punch to drag them in there. So that's, like I said, an easy buff without, like, disrupting what's already really, really strong with her. And like I said, most of her buttons, her mediums and all that are excellent. They're really, really, really good. The next thing is her anti-airs. So Manon's anti-airs are pretty good. Her crouching heavy punch puts them in a good spot. You can't dash after her crouching heavy punch. I think they should make her plus enough to be able to dash after. You can walk forward, but I mean, it's still good, but not the best. That's something they could just... I'm thinking of like little small tweaks they can do to make Manon a little stronger and rewarding her for defending properly. But this move right here, as fast as it is and as easy as the motion is, this is not anti-air invincible in the first frame. I think it doesn't become anti-air invincible until the 4th frame. So when you're playing against characters like Cammy, it's really annoying because Cammy is able to just do OD dive kick on you or a dive kick close, and you'll just get counter hit clipped because you don't have that invincibility right away. you'll just get counter hit a lot of the times. Of course, this is easy for me in training mode because I know Cammy's going to do the dive kick, but I'm talking about reacting. You just saw the counter hit there. But see, it gets clipped. And I think since this already uses meter, I think it's more than fine to make this frame 1 anti-air invincible. I'm not asking it to be a reversal, but anti-air invincible frame 1 definitely. That'll also help her with the cross-cut version too when someone jumps over you as well. Yeah, you guys notice I haven't said to buff her drive rush. I'm like avoiding that, right? Dude, I gotta put my money where my mouth is, man. I've been like constantly advocating to like nerf raw drive rush. So for me to say, hey, you gotta make her drive rush faster. I didn't even say it with Ryu. I'd be a hypocrite if I said that. Okay, so anti-airs, her lights, what else? Her supers. So level 2, the obvious. This thing should not drop ever mid combo like I showed you guys at the beginning. No, Capcom, you can't let that happen. So make sure this is more consistent. Another thing is I think they should raise the Oki on this a bit. So when she does the level 2, if you get them close to the corner and you dash forward, it's good. Like you're plus 11, you're right in front of their face. But I think she should get a little bit better when she lands this mid screen. I mean, it is a level 2. Level 2 is all about that utility. If she dashes forward, she can't dash again. See, I'm plus 11, but I'm too far, right? If I dash again, I'll be minus. I think they should definitely raise the Oki on that. She should definitely be rewarded because you got to remember when Manon lands a clean hit, she has an opportunity to get a metal level. And I think using a level 2, even though it's good, it pushes them towards the corner. I'm giving up a metal level to do that. I think the cost is really high mid-screen. It'll make it more tempting for a Manon player to decide doing the mid-screen if she's guaranteed Oki, if she's given up the metal level in the first place. Also, Manon's level 3, my goodness. I think Manon's level 3 is tied for worst level 3 in the game. It's terrible. It's so bad. She gets no Oki. Non-CA and CA gets no Oki. It has no range. It's a grab, but you have to combo into it, right? It's got no range, no other utility to it. It's just... and doesn't have extra damage, right? Compared to other level 3s, like Lily does, for example. Lily has extra bonus damage, but she can still combo into it. And I'm giving up the metal level. So I definitely think that she should at least get some Oki. At least if I drive rush or something, right? Because it's just too much. Like there's a lot of times in the corner, I don't want to combo to level 3 because I know once I do that, I'm giving the opponent a chance to get out of the corner. Ryu kind of suffers the same issue. There are a lot of characters that are super powerful in this game. Like, I don't know, Ken, Luke. And these characters have Oki after a level 3. It's actually wild. So either make it so less characters get Oki after level 3 or get the other lower tier characters in line because it's just too powerful. So level 3, level 2. Manon's level 1 is pretty decent. I like that it side switches. There's some utility there. It's pretty easy to combo into. I have seen some juggles drop with this thing though. Once again, inconsistency, but... so that's pretty rough. Manon's supers overall are pretty rough. Trying to think what else. Okay, lights. Oh, the anti-fireball stuff, right? I was talking about that too. Okay. Okay, so Manon gets a pretty nice reward when she anticipates a fireball. She can't react to it, but she can guess it. And you can kick them, and then you get like a good conversion from this, and good corner carry. All that's great. But that's against a normal fireball, you know? Once you go against like a real zoner, like Guile, this is where it becomes really crazy. So take a look at her spin here. So when she does her spin, you'll see on the frame meter, on the orange, it says 19 projectile invincibility frames. It says 19, 22, and the heavy is 26. But when you want to cancel this, because obviously if the opponent blocks this, you're gonna get bopped, right? This on block is... what is this on block? Minus 16. And minus 23 for the light version. If I do the feint, the light version is 13, the medium is 14, and the heavy is 15. But if I cancel it into the kick, you are losing the projectile invincibility as if you let it rock, right? So like the heavy version, look, it's 26. And when I cancel into the kick early, it's now at 16. So what I'm saying is like, when Guile is chucking booms at you, a lot of times when you're trying to use the kick, you're getting hit because you're losing the projectile invincibility. See? I'm trying to hit the kick late, but either the kick won't come out or it hits too early. So I think Capcom needs to make it easier for you to time this so that that kick is at least coming out. But regardless, it doesn't matter because you can see Guile's able to block in time, which means he's able to DI me back in time. So I think Manon needs something here where at least, I'm not saying Manon should just counter projectile players, OD Condor Spire through everything. But as long as I anticipate Guile doing a Sonic Boom, I think she should have an easier time dealing around it because this is a really tough matchup for her to deal with. JP is a little bit different because Manon has to drive rush in, right? But I don't think they should buff her drive rush. I think only drive rushes need to be slowed down. Her drive rush, like using it for Oki for some setups and stuff, is good. And her cancel conversions, I think, are fine for what they are. So I definitely think Capcom should help Manon against fast projectiles like Guile, especially since Guile will probably be a menace in Season 2. Help her with her lights, help her with her pushback. To stop people from jumping away from her. Make her anti-airs a little bit stronger to deal with fast approaching characters like, you know, Cammy's dive kick or maybe even Jamie's dive kick. And make her supers more consistent so they don't fall out of it. I think Manon's got a lot of potential. Like I said, even though she is regarded as low, she has some already really strong things about her. So they make her more consistent. I think that'll really help her. Even her standing light kick, like this doesn't naturally combo to slide either. This is a really good light button for her. So if you get a counter hit with crouching light punch, you're always too far for this standing light punch to hit. So you're naturally going to standing light kick, right? It'd be nice for this to combo the slide. So +4 crouching light punch, links in the standing light kick, and then all in the slide. I think that'd be a great counter hit conversion. Or at least if they made it plus, you know, and they kept the light kick the same, I could at least combo to this, which would be great because she gets a dash from this at +14. Don't buff Manon because I'll never get the master. What if they made this second hit of her heavy punch target combo super cancelable? Dude, that would be insane. That'd be so strong. If they gave that, oh, if she would get, then like she would be able to go into level 2 or level 1. She'd be able to side switch, corner carry you, or cash out. I think that'd be too strong. But like once again, I mean, making Manon top tier is easy. Super easy for Capcom to do. It's just up to them if they want to do it, right? I think they're gonna be a little bit more careful, tiptoe around and try to, you know, give her a little bit, but not tip over the edge. Of course, we'll find out when that bounce patch rolls out, like what Capcom actually wants to do. Hopefully, they'll have like a developer blog, but Manon is in a strange spot for sure. Like I said, one of the only characters that was like super strong at the very beginning but dropped off big time. Super upplayed at the very beginning. We'll see where she lands because she's super fun to play. I really like playing her because she doesn't rely on the drive rush, which is cool. She's got awesome buttons. What if they gave her a 6th metal level? Even if they did, you would never see it because the opponent would be dead before you got it, right? If you grab them at the 5th metal level anyways, they'd be dead, so it doesn't matter.